Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hey, for all of y'all that have been here for a while, long time no see. To all the new subscribers, glad to have you. So I've swapped from micro drift to SCX24 crawling, and I have moved my nano receivers from micro drift over to crawling, and the results I found are amazing. So a lot of people have reached out after the post I did on Instagram. If you're not following on Instagram, it should be. It is small scale radio control, same as here. Hit me up over there. I post a lot of content. Love RC, all kinds of RC, but I'm especially into the tiny ones. So won't run my mouth too much more because this video is going to be about soldering. Okay, I'm not an expert by any means. Don't think that I am, but I can do a good enough job. Let's put it that way. So a few things you're going to need, of course, is a soldering iron. You're also going to need a little bit of copper Brillo. I just got mine in a jar. You don't need a whole bunch of fancy stuff, but you can find all this stuff on Amazon if you look. Also, this helps. This is a little helping hands tool. I think I literally paid less than $10 for this thing. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. But you will need some flux paste that is electronic safe. Okay, some of this flux can be very abrasive on electronics. So some flux paste, soldering iron. I actually have this pin soldering iron that I got not too long ago. I'm still on the fence whether or not I'm a fan of it, but my first soldering iron was literally an El Cheapo from Lowe's. Did the same thing. So you'll also need some solder, some low temp solder preferably. I'm still searching for the perfect solder that I just can't live without. I have not found that yet. Now listen, I am learning stuff about soldering every day. One thing that I have found that kind of frustrated me a little bit in the beginning was tinning the tip, what they say. Okay, so I made a mistake in the beginning of cleaning my tip too much. Okay, you don't take a Dremel to it in a brush. You always want the tip of your solder gun to hold some solder. Okay, so when you clean it off, let me flip this around. When you clean it off, I literally just kind of stab it in there, kind of clean it off like that. That's it. All right, don't go crazy with it, because you always want the tip of that thing to have some solder on the end of it. Like I said, this is something that aggravated the crap out of me in the beginning. Never could really figure out. Sometimes if your tip will not hold solder, I don't know how you get it back, to be straight up honest with you. I think they make some stuff called some tinning paste that is supposed to help, but when I've lost mine, I end up just ordering some more. You can get those on Amazon as well, fairly cheap. So a lot of different kinds, sizes, different shapes, so on and so forth. But now we are dealing with teeny tiny electronics and these little itty bitty JST plugs. So I found that a tiny tip actually helps. Like I said, it's not required, but it helps. So let me get some things set up, and I will click back into here in just a minute and give you a rundown of how I get stuff to stay soldered. All right, guys, let's see if I can do this without making a mistake. Usually when the camera's on, that's when stuff gets wild. Okay, so very, 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 very important. Do not forget your heat shrink. That has to go on first. Okay. I mean, I know this is all common sense stuff, but listen, you wouldn't believe how many times I've actually forgot it. Okay. You need to slide the, my lighting might not be the best, so I need to work on this. This was kind of an unplanned, unprompted video, so here we go. Slide your heat shrink on. Get it as far away from the the heat as possible. I have had them shrink themselves to the tube. Okay, also, I will also take your flux. Go ahead and dip the wire into the flux. That's how I do it, okay? Put it in the clamp. Okay. Take the other end, dip it. Might as well turn on my iron. Now look, I like I said, I'm not a professional, but I've found that I do a little better when I turn it on the highest heat setting. I know I've had a lot of people get on to me and say it's terrible for electronics, but man, I'm trying to get in and out of there. Like, I am not trying to loiter around with the soldering iron. I am literally trying to just get in, get out, done. So now you've got your wires. Got them dipped in the flux. Soldering iron is heating up. I can kind of tell that the end of my soldering iron is getting a little liquidy looking. All right. Now, once this gets good and hot, your solder should melt. I'm going to go ahead and dip the end of my tip into the flux also, okay? You never can have too much flux, I feel like. Let's see here. Still not hot enough, not hot enough. It's going to get there. It's getting close. I'm starting to see smoke come off of it. Give it just a second. Aha. Now, when this solder starts to melt on this tip, it will puddle and pool up on the tip and not fall. It should puddle up on the tip and not fall off. I should have turned my iron on a little earlier. Sorry, it's taking a second. I'm trying to see through the phone too, and that's not helping. There we go. Now, see how the solder is melting? All right, got a puddle of solder on it. Now the heat should go to the solder, okay? Or the flux, I'm sorry. The flux should help draw the solder towards it. Actually, I think I got it. It's just hard to see right now, so. If you need to, dip into that again if you need to. Like I said, boys, it's something that I'm learning all the time. So I've already got an issue. I don't know if I'm losing heat or what, but my solder has turned into a hard rock. So I might have to get another soldering iron. I'm not really sure what is going on. Yep, technical difficulties. So I'm not really a fan of the soldering iron. I can tell you that right now. pain in the butt that is. Okay, so my solder, for some reason, okay, so a little bit of solder. Maybe I got too much. All right, that did it. I saw it. All right, so I guess I must have got too much solder on it. When you're done, clean it off. Clean your tip off and turn your iron off. Okay. So that's all you do. You literally just touch it to it with the flux paste, and you have a good connection that is not going to come loose. Then slide your heat shrink over your spot. Take you a lighter, heat shrink it, and there you go. There you have a connection. That is literally it. Okay. It's a learning process. Like I said, I'm not perfect at it, but you know, you never will be perfect at it until you practice. So I hope that helps. If you guys have any questions or anything, it is better probably to hit me up on Instagram. I'm not very good about checking comments on YouTube. I will try to get better, but yeah, guys, I hope that helps. Like, subscribe, whatever they all say on here, and I'll see you on the next one.